Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I really hope that this video and any other video on this channel finds you in good health and in good spirits wherever you are in the world. I really mean that. The most important thing, as always, is to just take good care of yourselves and stay safe. And please stay healthy, my friends. Be well, and warmest regards to all during this time. And I'd like to take this opportunity also, if you don't mind, to just provide a friendly reminder that on Saturday, April 11th at 11 p.m. Tokyo time, again, Saturday, April 11th, Saturday, April 11th at 11 p.m. Tokyo time, it is with great pleasure that I will be able to have another Film Club live stream wherein the subject of discussion will be the 1981 film from David Cronenberg, and this is the film Scanners. Now, what I have here is the Criterion Collection release of this, which is spine number 712 in the Criterion Collection. This is also very good because, among other things of the film, of course, there are also a number of great, interesting features, such as there's a documentary about the sort of special effects. And also there is an interview with Michael Ironside. There's also an interview with Stephen Lack. There's also an interview with Cronenberg that was contemporary to this particular release. And there's also his film Stereo, which is also very insightful. It has very interesting it's an interesting window into the mind of Cronenberg during this early period of his career, leading up, of course, to Scanners. And then there are other supplements, and then the essay by Kim Newman. So this is a really packed release from the Criterion Collection, and it's well worth it for anyone who's interested, of course. The film is, I must emphasize again, it is not for everyone, in the sense that it does have certain scenes of violence, and quite shocking scenes of violence and intensity, and the story itself has a sense about it that is very intense in places. And so I wouldn't recommend this to everyone given its particular content. That being said, if you are okay with this kind of film, then it is one that I think is well worth talking about. I have already begun hearing from a number of people already about this particular film. Some people really like it, some people think it's just okay, others think it's a little bit disappointing. And so wherever you fall in that spectrum of opinion, my friends, I think there is room for all opinions on this film. I think this film does have a kind of trajectory on the one hand that seems to encompass a lot of really grand ideas in its filmmaking approach. And I'll leave it up to you, of course, whether you think that the final film product lived up to the grand ambitions of the film in terms of its ideas, or maybe it was trying to do something on one hand but ended up becoming a little bit different on the other. And that sort of thing. And I will try to talk about that aspect of the film during the live stream, and in particular the aspect of what the world is that the film is trying to create, and how the film elements that are presented try to really, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, to really build and sort of make up the components that is the overall universe of this film. And it is a very peculiar universe, but it does have its own set of rules and its own set of a kind of hierarchy of what's going on. It's still also remains elliptical, and I will try to get to that. You know, the plot does reveal certain information, and I won't get into any detail now. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it does reveal certain information on the one hand, and yet it does still also remain in many fascinating ways quite elliptical, and it's also very fascinating for what it doesn't show as well as what it does show, let me put it that way. And so I do want to talk about that during the live stream if I can, and see how that shows us something about the storytelling techniques of Cronenberg in this particular work, what it is he's trying to say, how he is saying it, the story that he's trying to tell, how he is telling it, and etc., etc. So those are some things that I will try to talk about. There are other aspects of the film that I think are very important, very iconic. There are a number of sequences that one could say are perhaps among the most iconic in the entire cinematic oeuvre of David Cronenberg. There are some really intense sequences, but I do want to get into those. And I think the sequences, some of them involve a certain number of special effects, and so there is a sense of grand spectacle, and maybe spectacle for spectacle's sake on the one hand. But I would also suggest that even with these so-called seemingly spectacle set pieces that are throughout the film, I think there is a thematic thrust to all of them that make them very significant, not only, of course, in the context of the narrative, but also on a broader thematic level, and how this plays out in terms of identity, in terms of sort of identity in the sort of existential sense of that, and also in terms of a sense of belonging, and also in a sense of reacting to things and situations that you weren't aware of before. I mean, in literature, I think this is often referred to as epiphany, but even moments of epiphany, even described in very literary terms, still have a very potential human connection to them. This idea of reaction, of action and reaction. And I think that is at the heart, or one of the things that's at the heart of this film. Of course, it's no denying the fact that it does also provide a certain level of sci-fi action entertainment that also hinges on elements of eeriness and creepiness, and oh yes, horror as well, and some pretty graphically depicted horror at that. And so this is, I think, as an overall package, a film that is well worth discussing. It does have certain ideas about evolution, and about evolution as depicted in the cinematic sense of it, of course, and the proceedings thereof. And also there is a kind of sense of a mystery, and also almost a spy thriller as well, also a sort of espionage thriller, corporate espionage and the like is also at play here, which is also very fascinating. And also there's a sense of committee and bureaucracy, and also revolution, and the notion of revolution, and the methods of revolution. What are the methods of revolution that are being espoused here? Is it a revolution by a kind of passivity, or is it something involving something more direct and violent? And I think these are all at play here in one form or another. And so it'll be my hope that we can try to talk a little bit about these and other themes, time permitting, of course, during the live stream, which is once again to be held on Saturday, April 11th at 11 p.m. Tokyo time. So this is Saturday, April 11th, 2020. Once again, 11 p.m. Tokyo time. So if you are interested, and if you want to stop by, I would, of course, very much love to see you, and there will just to hear your thoughts about the film, and any particular moments of the film that you enjoy, or any aspect of the filmmaking that you really admire, appreciate, or something else you want to comment on with respect to this film. It'd be very interesting, and my pleasure, of course, as always, to hear what it is you have to say, because you always have wonderful things insightful things, enlightening things, really intelligent things to say, as always. And so I'm looking forward to getting more of those insights and opinions from you with respect to this film Scanners during the live stream. And on a separate but also relevant note, and also to close this video out, let me also just provide another gentle reminder, which is that in respect of the next live stream, which is going to be the following Saturday, or Saturday the 18th of April, there is an open poll as of the time of this video that is still open. It is on the community tab of this particular YouTube channel. So if you're interested, you can go to the community tab right now and see what films are up for possible discussion for the 18th of April. And the winner of this poll, there are 5 films currently listed. The film that has the most votes at the end of the poll will be the film that we will be discussing on the 18th of April. So the 11th of April is Scanners, and the 18th of April will be the winner of this now currently open poll, which once again can be found on the community tab of this YouTube channel. So if you haven't voted yet and you're interested, please feel free to visit the community tab right now and cast your vote. At the moment, I don't want to say anything too specific, but it's pretty close. Very close, in fact, among a couple of titles right now. So it could go either way. There's still time to make a difference, as it were. And so if you're interested, please feel free to visit the community tab. There's information there, and you can find one of the 5. You can find the poll there, and you can vote for one of the 5 if you haven't done so already. And thank you to all of you who have already voted, who have already given me your opinions about that. I'm always very happy to see you participate, because your participation and your input is the reason why this YouTube channel is here. And so without you, this YouTube channel would be nothing. And I'm always very grateful for that, and I acknowledge that fully. So I hope that you have fun with the poll, and I will try to make more polls in the future. So if you can't find a film that is particularly to your liking in this current poll, once again, I apologize deeply. I really deeply apologize for that. I'm sorry I couldn't find a film that was to your liking, but I will keep trying with future polls and future live streams, maybe in the coming months ahead. So please stay tuned. But in the meantime, my friends, thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. In the meantime, please be happy and healthy and well. Take good care of yourselves. Stay safe. Be healthy. And continue to watch a lot of great movies. Thank you so much, as always, for your time. And cheers.